In this video, we continue the Calculus from Scratch series where we learn calculus from the ground up. Today, we'll be learning about functions in 200 seconds. So what is a function? Functions in math are similar to functions in programming. You give them an input and they return a specific output. And when we draw a graph of a function, the x value represents the input and the y value represents the output. There's one important rule: a function can only produce one output for a given input. So if a graph shows multiple y values for the same x value, then it's not a function. And so how do we write functions without graphs, right? So we use function notation. A function is written as a letter followed by brackets with a variable inside and an expression on the right. For example, we have f of x equals an expression in terms of x, such as x squared plus 1. This simply means the function takes an input x and produces an output using that expression. Now let's look at some examples of functions. So yeah, the first example we have is f of x equals x cubed plus 3. And if we plot this on a graph, each x value gives exactly one y value. So this is a function basically. The second example is f of s equals s squared, the formula for a square, for the area of a square. And even without a graph, we know each side length gives exactly one area, so it's also a function. The third example is y equals x squared plus 10x. You might notice that there's no f of x notation, but it still represents a function. For every x value, there's only one y value. The last example is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. This is the equation of a circle. And if we graph a circle, then we see that one x value can give two y values. So this is not a function. Next, we learn how to find the output of a function, and consider the function f of x equals x squared. If we want to find f of 4, we just say f of 4 equals 4 squared, which is 16. So we just substitute the input and evaluate the given expression. Next, we learn about piecewise functions. Now, piecewise functions are written as how you see on the screen here. F of x equals open braces and then x squared when x is less than 0, or minus x when x is greater than or equal to 0. So if we were to graph this here, we'll find that below x equals 0, it looks like a parabola, which is the x squared part, and above or equal to 0, it's a downward line, which is negative x. Next, we learn about domain and range. So a domain is the all possible inputs and range is the all possible outputs. And consider the area of a square, a equals s squared. Mathematically, we could still square any number, but in real life, a side length can't be negative, right? So the domain is all real numbers greater than or equal to 0. Since squaring a number never gives a negative result, the range is also equal to all real numbers greater than or equal to 0. And that's it for this video. Okay, bye.